sure I'm recording it. Okay. So at the end of the day, we want to make sure the lead order's coming in. And on top of that, you want to make sure that you have product knowledge. Look, bottom line is, all the years I've been doing this, I can't sell unless I know what the Cadillac's all about. I'm selling Mr. Jones. I need to know the paint color, the engine size, the interior. Does it have a stereo, CD player, the whole 9 yards? So get effectively involved with your carriers. Pick up the phone, call your carriers one by one, and tell them you're new. Just tell them you're new and get some product knowledge. Just, I don't understand it. You know, it kind of confuses me on why people don't take massive action. Then we all blame the industry, but we didn't do anything to get it. It's not just picking up a lead, dialing it. Mrs. Jones is going to say yes and go to the door, and she's going to buy your products off you. It's not that way. However, it can be effectively a little easier when you're much more prepared. So let's get started. I do have some help for you guys, so I'm gonna show that here. A lot of this stuff I use in the homes, so I can show you what this is. This is a average monthly bill for 12 months. Find the need, then the solution. The number one thing you're in that home to do is find the need. What's the need? And we're going to go over that. When you find the need, and it's not ever their need, trust me, it's never their need. It's the need that you invent because they didn't even see it. And watch what I do on the board, and you'll get more out of this. So look, this has Mr. Jones' monthly income. We're going to go over that. We're going to learn how to get that out of him. Subtract the 2. This is what's left over at the end of the month. We're going to learn how to get what's left over at the end of the month because, you know, to fit life insurance in somebody's budget, it's about what's left over. What the hell do they have at the end of the month to be able to afford this? I'm telling you, you guys know who've been in homes, these people do not move their money around too much unless you're a good rep to adjust numbers for them and show them value. However, most of them don't want to move their money around for life insurance to fit in, which is a crime, but you know, it can work out that way. Do they have term insurance? Long story short, I can get this sheet over to you. This has the mortgage, life insurance, electric bill, so on and so on and so on. This is what you need to be doing if you want to sell larger deals. I can show you a faster route around this, though, at the same time. If you need information for quotes, this sometimes helps. It has the agent's name and then client's name and then client's age, client's state, carrier, and things like that that you use. You can file that in your system. There's a lot of things to get organized. One of the biggest products used is, I'm an index guy, guys. So I train and teach people how to sell index products, and that's index universal lives and indexed annuities. So I wanted to show you one more thing. I don't know if anybody knows Joyce Myers, but I'm not like the hugest fan of her, but this book has been very helpful. I felt trapped for a minute. She's helping me out of it. So remember, there's other tools than just your wife or the kids beating in your eardrum that you possibly can need to get out of the situation you're in. Lastly, here's the annuity presentation. If you want to sell larger annuities, you should have something similar to this or like this. If you don't, we can bring this to your stage and you can have this too. So it's very simply put, a layout of what is a fixed indexed annuity, Mr. Jones, so they understand exactly what the hell you're pitching. If you want to make $50,000 a month or $100,000 in a month, 9 times out of 10 you can. You're just sitting on annuities you never get to because you didn't ask or present it to Mr. or Mrs. Jones to know that you do that for them and their money. This shows them the indexing versus the indexed annuity versus the 401k. It shows some markers on the strategies that they're using. It also completely at the end shows fees in a 401k. Everyone pays these damn fees on average. It tells you the types of fees in a 401k, why the fees are there. And then when you have this in front of them, they really can't get around this stuff, guys. Everything in this book is designed to shape Mr. or Mrs. Jones to understand that they are paying fees, that there are interest levels that they don't see. There's fees involved, and they can be astronomical. 3% of their number, 1%, whatever it may be. They don't have to pay it. All they need to do is sit back, stop losing. But look at the stock market. Look what it did. It's plummeting, you know? So things are going down. After Trump signed that bill, things are going haywire. So if you have anybody that has market-based products, annuities, low interest earning annuities, cash, get on the phone and contact them. Send them a letter. Get them prepared for the downside of the market that's coming, because it's coming, okay? All right, let's get started. One of the first things I can tell you, as I said, let's start review for the new people out there. Leads are based upon this. If you order 10 to 20, you're going to see about 3,500 bucks. You might grab 5,000. I want you to remember something though. This investment, no matter how many leads you order, guys, is this way. Here's how I see it. This is how I see it anyway. And it may take 2 weeks to get this, but I want you to see this. This is an investment of, let's say it's 300 bucks. I take this investment, I go out and say, make 1,500 bucks. Well, now I have a profit of $1,200 and I have my investment back. I want you to reinvest that money back. If you take the same damn 300 bucks and reinvest it every week, it's not $300 a week you're spending. Your mentality needs to start changing if you're new at this. If you guys have life insurance reps working underneath you, you'll need to know how to train them on this, because the mentality of people is just not in the right state of mind. And they see them purchasing 300, 300, 300, 300. It's just $300 one time, maybe twice. But once you get it going, worst case scenario, you invest 900 bucks at the end of the month and you get the ball rolling. But where can you start a business where you earn $250,000 a year on 900 bucks, a month? So invest in your leads. I went to a conference recently in Maryland. Women were spending $1,500 to $2,000 a week on lead resources. They were selling 50% of those leads, which means to tell me if men would do the same and we have a stronger attitude inside the homes, and 9 times out of 10 we're better. I don't want to say we're better salesmen. I do not want to say that about us at all, but 9 times out of 10 in this industry, we kind of sell larger premiums. It's just how it is, I guess. But what I'm saying is, guys, take your investment seriously and start investing in your lead resources. If you do not know that, or you're not a part of this organization yet, you need to get with me as soon as possible so I can send you contracting and we can get you the lead flow over. All right, so to continue, leads are out of the way. Let's continue on the mortgage protection sales. When you're inside the house, when you get to the door, here's what a mortgage protection lead looks like. If nobody's ever seen one, this is what one looks like. It's very simple. It has the bank at the top. It has the name, address, phone number. It has the age of the individual, their significant other's age, and it has the amount that they owe. If this individual owes $168,000 bucks, I'm just going to say that they owe $200,000 for this illustration. Let's go over this illustration and show you how it's done. Guys, I'm going to show you the tools that are used inside the house. If you're a professional, this is all you need, all right? You need this pen. Take this seriously too. Look at the screen. If you take this pen and you take this paper, this is all you need, but you need everything that comes out of your mouth needs to be transported onto this paper. I'm telling you right now, the illustration of this, the exercise of illustrating everything that you do inside the home helps them visualize where their money's going, how they're getting it back, how their loved ones get paid, all the benefits involved, the interest that they're earning, inflation in the years to come, the downsides of the market, everything. So if I draw a line across this sheet, I used to do this because I forgot people's names, by the way. So if I draw a sheet like a cross, and I'm going to do that on the big screen here now. So on this here, so you guys can see it better. Let me see this. $200,000 is owed, okay? So everybody understands. Now, if I draw a line down this is a sheet of paper. I got Mr. Jones. I got Mrs. Jones. I'm going to say you're 65 each, okay? Mr. Jones has a $200,000 mortgage he needs to pay. How many years? 30 years. Now, let's investigate. Let's show you how to get inside the house and start tearing this thing apart so you walk away with money and a sale, and then possibly an annuity sale also. So we're going to make this focus a little around annuities, but also making sure that you walk away with some money in your pocket due to the sale of the mortgage protection. So inside the home, I'm sitting across from Mr. and Mrs. Jones. I'm building rapport to the point of trust, not by asking them who's in the picture across the way or Mr. Jones, do you like golf? I'm fitting this stuff in along the way, guys, but I'm very serious about using my professionalism as a way to build rapport to the point of trust. not using their pictures in their yard and their cars and their home to build point of trust rapport. So they have $200,000. One of the first questions I will ask them, hey guys, look, I'm here to take care of this mortgage. I see that the mortgage is $200,000. I see who the bank is. I got your ages. I'm going to confirm their age with them just so I know which nearest age. Some of the products I use need nearest age. And then I want to tell them, out of the two of you, by the way, who earns the two of the higher Social Securities? And there's a big reason I'm asking for new people out there. And one of those reasons is this: get to everything else that you need to sell large deals, okay? So stay with me on this and just carry through this. Out of the Social Security, who owns the two of the higher of the two Social Securities? Mr. Jones usually does. Let's say he's at $2,000. Mrs. Jones is at $1,000. This is just all hypothetical too, so don't be too cautious about the numbers. We got $2,000. So the reason I'm asking, here's another thing. This is my piece of paper, guys. Remember, I'm writing this down for Mr. and Mrs. Jones in front of them so they can see this. This isn't just for you. This is what you need to be doing in the house. So this is Social Security. So I have $2,000, Mr. Jones, and the reason I'm asking is because God forbid anything happens to you, that $2,000 is taken out, and Mrs. Jones has to survive on $1,000 for 6 months to 12 months. This is a vital point in your sale because it has 6 to 12 months where she's without $2,000 a month. Okay? She's surviving on this. So, Mrs. Jones, at the end of the month, are your bills roughly? I believe they're less than $3,000, but are they roughly $2,000 a month, or are they closer to $3,000? They're roughly about $2,500 a month. So I know a rough estimate on the monthly bills. We know automatically she can't survive. Next, I want to say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, by the way, what's the monthly on the mortgage? How much is the monthly mortgage cost? That's $1,100. Well, she's $1,000. We know she's on the streets already. This is vital point. Now, this is where I find the indexed annuity portion of this puzzle. Okay, so I have the Social Security out. They understand that she has, in 12 months, she may have to survive on $1,000. Her mortgage is $1,100. We know she's on the streets. Guys, this is a real picture of what things look like in the home. So use it in the house. I'm telling you, it works. Next, Mr. Jones, God forbid anything were to happen to you, but we know that your wife is based upon $1,000 for the next 12 months, worst case scenario. Best case scenario, she gets it in 6. What will we do? Or do you have anything that can replace that $2,000? Is there anything in place that would replace that $2,000, like a pension or 401k, stock-based products, cash, things like that? Yes, I got a 401k. Okay, great. Just for this illustration, Mrs. Jones, so I can do my job properly. What is that about? What's that worth? How much does Mrs. Jones receive? That's a better question. How much will Mrs. Jones receive to replace that? And that's why, here's what I'm trying to do and teach you. Do not just bluntly ask for things in the home. If you ask for, do you have a 401k? What's it worth? That doesn't work, okay? So you need to make sure that you're doing it this way. So, Mr. Jones, we have what to replace Mrs. Jones's $2,000. What is that worth to Mrs. Jones? I have $100,000. Okay, but here's the theory on this, and this is why you can still sell mortgage protection or final expense on this. They're age 65. I mean, with inflation, they're probably going to chew away at this $100,000. So you need to remember that. Don't walk away thinking they got $3,000 plus $100,000 and that's going to survive to age 85. When do you want to knock people out? Take them to 85, even 95 years of age today, okay? So your job as a financial professional is to do the numbers and be smart about it. So take people to age 85, 95, make their money work. Fit your products in to make it work, okay? So hypothetically, Mr. Jones, if you're taking $10,000 a year out of this, then that roughly only leaves you about 8 years on this product, and you may be without this. So we don't want to say that she's, she'll definitely get this in 12 months, but long term, we may want to look at replacing this $100,000. God forbid your wife may need this, inflation, things like that. A big rule of thumb is, I'm going to take this off the board, guys, real quickly. I'm going to just draw you out some things here. I want you to take notes on this. This is what it looks like when I take another piece of paper. I might go through 10 to 15 pieces of paper now. I take another piece. I draw this line here. This is inflation. I show them this. How much is inflation? Does anybody really characterize inflation at 4%? Because I do. I just kind of threaten them with it or some sort, just try to draw it out. That means 40% higher will be paying on whatever, bread, gas. You know, I just kind of show them this. Will that matter in their life? I don't know in 10 years. It may not. Here's a level income. This will matter, though. They have a level income. You want to show them that. You have a level income. Here's tax increases. Now, I want you to visualize, Mrs. Jones, you're alone. It's just you. And you got $2,000 a month to live on, plus $100,000 from your husband. I'll give you the $100,000 under this stipulation, but you've got 30 years to go. Don't you think it's wise that we try to get this house paid off or get the back end paid off? 9 times out of 10, here's what your job is now in the house. Why are you there? What is mortgage protection? What the hell is it supposed to do? It's supposed to do this. 1, protect the equity at all times. Do not be the salesman going in there selling high products to try to sell a whole damn home on, you know, $200,000 policies on 65-year-old individuals that won't fit in their budget. It is an option, and I'm going to tell you that I need you to have that option for them, but 9 times out of 10, you are to help them sell the home for what? For the equity in the home, okay? We can do some math on this. I'll show you how to do the math to find equity in the house. Do this. If that house is worth, you know, $200,000, I'm just doing a hypothetical, it's $1,100 a month. It's probably more than that. Multiply this by 12 months. I don't have a calculator in front of me, but that's 22, it's 12. Let's just say this is $13,000 real quickly. You multiply that by 15 years. This will show equity in 15 years. This is important. I'm telling you right now, if you show this, people are going to understand their own money. This will show their equity in 10 years. So I got $1,100 a month on the mortgage times 12 months in a year equals $13,000 roughly or so. And then I multiply that by 15 years in the mortgage. And then I divide that by 2 because that's the real equity. And whatever that comes to, let's say it's $80,000 or some odd, or yeah, something like 80 grand. There's $80,000. Why is that important? Because if God forbid Mrs. Jones can't stay in that house in 15 years and he's gone and she gets $1,000 a month, she needs to be forced to sell this house. That's the very first thing that you're to teach your clients is how to sell the house and then how to pay off the back end. So 2 scenarios may happen. 1, sell off the house or pay the back end off. You pay the back end off. This gets big premiums too, guys. I mean, you're talking with mortgage protection, you're averaging, I mean, to be sincere with you, if you can train your individuals right and show them a ton of value, you're at least at $100. But most of my stuff is 300, 600. It's been at 2,000 before, multiple times, not just 1 or twice. And the reason why is there are products out there with high interest levels on them too. We're going to go over that as soon as we get through the presentation. So your job is to protect the equity in the house, all right? You have to sell the home, Mrs. Jones, for the $80,000 before the bank gets it. Here's what you draw on a piece of paper. This is the war when somebody passes, okay? Here's the house. Here's the bank. Here's Mrs. Jones. Somebody's getting this house. Okay, is it you or the bank, Mrs. Jones? And this is the war, and there's $80,000 on the line. This is why you're protecting this house, okay? This is why you need this product in place. Now, let me show you some of the things the product does, Mrs. Jones. And we're going to get into the 401k thing, okay, guys? Just hang in there for a second. So this is what the product does. I have living benefits. So God forbid, if something were to happen to Mr. Jones while he's alive, he gets to reap the benefits of the $100,000, $50,000, or $25,000 policy that you will take today. I'm talking positive. Did you hear what I said to her? I said it's $100,000, $50,000, or $25,000 policy that you'll likely take today will benefit both of you by living benefits: heart attack, cancer, stroke, a car accident. The list goes on and on and on. end-stage renal failure. The 100,000, there's why they're alive. Number two, Mrs. Jones, check this out. This is why I personally use this for my own benefit. So I have a retirement schedule put away for my future. And guys, you should do the same. On a serious note, you should look into the product and take the 7 to 12.5% it annually grows at in the cash value and pile money into it. So you can overfund this damn thing. And so can they. But once you show them the cash value stream inside the policy, pretty much everybody goes with the product. And I'm trying to find one here that I can present to you. Here's one here. Here, let me show you guys what the cash value sheet looks like. I take the whole illustration in the house, by the way. Before I go to the home, I know that this house is $200,000 that they need to cover. I'll do one for $200,000. I'll do one for the mid-range, 100 grand or so. And then I'll do one for the back end and the front end to sell the house, which is 25,000 bucks. You can always do other illustrations in the house. Why do I do that this way? Because any one of my reps can tell you that they like tangible things in their hand. If they can hold this and touch this, instead of staring at a computer screen, you're more likely to sell the deal. This is real compared to what's on the computer screen. You get this into their hand and let them feel this and touch it, you got more of a chance selling this deal, I promise you. This is what the cash value looks like. So hypothetically, Mrs. or Mrs. Jones put 166 bucks a month away. The cash value in about 10 years is roughly 10, 12,000 bucks. So that's not even overfunding it. If they choose to overfund it and take advantage of the 7% interest, that's not something that they always choose to do, but they can. Now, with these index universal lives, you know as well as I do, if you're smart enough about these, is that they can come with cost of insurance later on that can hurt people. So you need to be aware of what you're doing and be smart about selling index universal lives and make sure that all my clients know that they need to overfund at one point or another. And they know the schedule on when to do it, how much to do it. So it's just being smart, wise, wisdom, educated on your products. But most of all, what are you selling on? You're selling on the living benefits. You sell products on cash value. Final expense salesman out there, listen up. Use cash value to sell your products. If a product comes with 3% interest, why are you not telling somebody that inside the cash value bucket, Mrs. Jones, your money's earning 3% interest annually? Don't you think you would want to hear that if you were being sold something? I want to learn what my money's doing. And that's what you become as an educator, to teach people what to do with their money on a regular basis, or just like in general across the board. I've taught people how to spend better, how to get their cable bill down just to afford their own product. People outspend themselves. Don't let them lie to you. And I'll tell you what's important for you. If you feel somebody's bullshitting you, pull this sheet out. Now, the only thing this is missing is kind of the Visa cards and things like that, credit cards that they might be spending. Everything else in life is on this. Not only is this for life, but you can give this to Mr. Jones and say, this is what Mrs. Jones is going to carry on when you're dead. And you're going to leave her with no money? Are you out of your mind? This is what she needs in place, guys. This is what Mrs. Jones needs in life and at death, at your death, Mr. Jones. This will help you organize their finances to find out what the money is. Now, here's a faster way to find out what people's end result is monthly. End result finances. Mr. and Mrs. Jones, at the end of the month, after you're done paying all your bills. Now, I know their Social Security income's $3,000, guys. Okay? I know that they have a 401k, $100,000 they're not drawing from yet, though. Okay? But I know that's $3,000. So at the end of the month, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, do you have roughly $250 to $500 a month left over? Yes, we do. Which one are you closer to? I'm closer to 500. There you go. You just figured out that they now can afford the product. Now, all the fear of wondering if they can afford it's off the table. Plus, let me show you the differences on what I would present to numbers to two different people, two different scenarios. If somebody says they have $500 left, I easily know that they can invest 100. Okay, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, this isn't going up in the ether. This thing is around. So look, God forbid that you get 20 years into your payment program for your home. Okay, this cash value proves that in 20 years that you can pay the back end of the house off. So you can pay the house off 10 years earlier than on schedule. Plus you're earning interest instead of paying interest. Do you see what I'm doing for you, Mr. and Mrs. Jones? I'm helping you make money, not give it away. Plus you'll be able to pay the house off earlier, and God forbid Mr. Jones passes away along the ride, Mrs. Jones, you have an ability to get the equity out of the house or pay the back end out of the house. So here's $100, $200. If somebody tells me they have $500, I know this. Now, here's another. One more way that you can ask people to purchase your products is this. Let's hypothetically say one of your clients, and you know that they have $4,000 a month in. You know that their bills are $3,000 a month. So you simply ask them, Mr. or Mrs. Jones, could you live on $3,800 a month? Like if you were could pay all your bills or paid off, could you survive on $3,800 a month? And that's paying your bills and everything's left over. Yes, we could. Okay, well, instantly you know that there's $200 left over that they agreed that they could afford to miss out of that monthly schedule. So that's another way to get people to open up to money. Reverse the money. Take the $4,000, ask them a question. Can you afford to live on that number instead of that number monthly? And if they say yes, there's no reason you shouldn't sell the deal. But you gotta bring value. You gotta bring urgency and value. Urgency and value every time you're in a home. Now, I wanted to get into the annuity thing real quickly, and then we're going to start asking questions. And if you have any questions, if not, I'm going to review this for final expense individuals too and teach you how to sell those. Larger premiums per final expense sale. So inside the sale, we knew that we had the Social Security sale. Just hang in there with me, guys, too. I know this stuff can get boring, but I truly believe that this system has worked time and time again, not only just for me, but for others. So we know that Mr. Jones has $2,000 a month. Mrs. Jones has $1,000. That equals $3,000 a month coming in. We know the mortgage is $1,100. We know that he has a 401k now for $100,000. Mr. and Mrs. Jones, I know that you have the $100,000. Now, here's a secret to people that can't afford to pay for mortgage protection products. Now, let's hypothetically say he doesn't want to pay for it. He's just like, get the hell out of my way, kid. I don't have it in my budget. I can't do it. So what instantly, remember, it was a $200,000 mortgage to be paid. I can have this paid off, or at least half of this, Mr. Jones, in 10 years. And here's how. I have the ability, or companies do, I should say, that every 10 years doing indexing, your number will double. Now, I just want to show you an illustration. Can I show you an illustration on what it would look like to take your $100,000 and just double it every 10 years? There's no downside markets. There's only completely you participate in the upside. Taxation's lower. It turns into life insurance. I had not had, what's that say? I do not have any sound. I don't know, Charlie, what to say about your sound. Take off your mute or try to figure it out, man. Anyway, look, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, I'd like to show you something and present you the opportunity to double your money every 10 years. How does that work? Let me show you. Do you have a computer? Now, guys, I really don't like this tangible, but what you can do on a laptop is you can show them the numbers. Sometimes I ask them, do you have a computer? Do you have a printer? Okay, may I print out the illustration for you? Again, I want it tangible in their hands. And they usually say yes. There's not a problem with that. What I'm going to show you is how I illustrate this, but I was just speaking this through. So this is what I would do on a piece of paper. I would say, Mr. Jones, look at this. You have $100,000 that can participate in the downsides of the market, which is right now. So you may be losing money as we speak. Hope to God you're not, though. But in theory, you could be losing money today because of the downsides. On the upsides, all you do is participate in the upsides. You will never participate in a downside market again. No more market volatility. How do you like that? Wouldn't that be great? Well, it can happen, and it happens time and time again to my clients. What we'd like to do is take this number, we want to index it, and every 10 years, bottom line, this has been proven by a 30-year look back. So for 30 years, you would have been doubling your money every 10 years. And it's not going anywhere. The company's made billions of dollars. They're on the track to do this over and over, time and time again. So imagine this. In 10 years, this turns into $230,000. Because I think that I can get you something like a 3 to 7% bonus on your money too. So that would be kind of cool to take this and drill this up by $7,000. And then at the end of this ride, you have something like $230,000. You pay the mortgage to this point in 10 years, and then you take money from here, and then you pay the house off. So you paid the house off faster than anybody else could ever imagine doing, and you did it all by using interest and your regular mortgage payments for the past 10 years. So this is a way to share with them a way to pay off the mortgage faster. With individuals that even buy the mortgage protection can still do this process too. It's a backup plan to the life insurance aspect of mortgage protection. But the system that you want to prove is, look, I can double your money every 10 years. Is it guaranteed? No, but here's a guarantee, Mr. Jones. I can guarantee your product has the ability to lose money in the market. That I can guarantee. If we look at the past of your product, Mr. Jones, has it lost money during the years that you've had it? You have broker fees and stockbroker fees. Taxation's larger. It's not life insurance in the end, so the individuals have to pay larger sums of taxation on the product. Let's look and review some of the ideas that I have for you, and let's put it in writing and get this job done, man. What do you say? Let's roll. Now, I can also pull this thing out. Remember, the visualization of everything that you're doing inside the house is going to be 100 times more powerful than if you do it just by speaking. So if I show them numbers over and over again, look at this, the $654,850 in a 401k compared to an IRA over a 40-year period compared to an annuity, which hit $1.3 million compared to the 401k, which is $654,000. That's powerful strategies, guys, that you can prove to them. So this is interest that people pay on the products, excessive fees. The typical mutual fund charges up to 3% in fees, public and hidden. Public and hidden. Public and hidden, okay? Let's see what 0 to 3% in fees does to your product. Can you imagine, 9 times out of 10, people do not know their product. But if they can trust you enough to open their eyes up to discussing that, you can get the product on the phone. The company that's running their show, whoever it is, Morgan Stanley, whoever it may be, you get them on the phone and ask about the fees. Are there fees? What are they monthly? And I can guarantee you're going to see some wide eyes. If you can get to that point, you definitely got the sale. Always use the products against the people that they already have. But you're helping them at the same time. You're protecting them from the downsides. I want to show you a couple more things, guys, and then we'll open up the mic. Here is ways to use cash value and index universal lives to sell life insurance and annuities. Let's go. Check this out. So if I go into a client's house and I ask them, by the way, and I want to slow down for a second and really go over this so you guys got this right. When I'm in the house, I ask for the Social Security. Who has the 2 or the higher Social Securities? Okay, that's step 1. Actually, I want to know what the mortgage monthly cost is. Let's get the mortgage monthly cost. So that's $1,100. Now, step 2 is, out of the 2 has the 2 of the higher Social Securities. I know Mr. Jones has 2,000. She has 1,000. Number 3, do you have life insurance, existing life insurance? Yes, we do. Would you mind to get those products out for me? That would help me extremely. We have them, we don't have them. Whatever the case may be, I want you to ask who they're with. Who are they with? Then I want you to ask, is it term or whole life? Or say this, is it that old life insurance or is it the new stuff? Is it the old stuff or is it the new stuff? That'll open them up. Oh, I got the old stuff. What the hell does that mean? I better take a look at this. Because once you run into the older products or IULs that are older, guys, there's cost of insurance, and we're going to use that against them in a second. But I need you to ask who's it with. Ask them, is it whole life or term? Do they know if it's an index product? And then once you know who it's with, you can call them and just say, Mr. or Mrs. Jones, what I'd like to do is just give them a ring for a second, but don't do that yet. I want you to get clear on a few things. You got $1,100 a month coming in. You got the Social Security going out for the mortgage. You got $2,000 coming in plus her $1,000. You know that their product's here. Number 4, you know that he has $100,000 in annuity by asking Mr. Jones, if God forbid something happened, I know you have the life insurance in place. She has a monthly income, but is there anything else like a pension? I say pension so it looks like I'm not prying. Yes, I have a 401k. Okay, she gets that too. Now what we can do is we can ask, I want to get you the best product possible for the best premium price. A lot of times people don't know their products. I don't want this to be a term product. If it's one of those older products, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, I promise you there's a big, big chance that you could lose the product due to something called cost of insurance. Again, guys, we are writing this down so they can see it. Be a big shot. Call it COI, cost of insurance. This is something that looks like this, Mr. Jones. They are charging you $30 to $100 a month, and it's coming out of your cash value. Okay, it's coming out of this bucket. Once this bucket is empty, you lose this product, right? Once you lose the product, there is no more death benefit. So please allow me to do my job properly by the state of Florida, and let me contact this individual. I know what it is. If they have the product, you can obviously see if it says flexible premium, index universal life, UL on the top of the policy. So try to get them to get the policies out. Now your job is to help them find the cash value, get this policy out of the way, and find out how many years are left on it. How do you do that? Real quickly, you take the cost of insurance over the years, the COI, and you multiply that by the 12, which is the years left. You see how much is in the cash value. So when you're on the phone with the carrier, you're saying they're going to ask you for permission to speak with Mr. Jones. So you got to get permission from the client. This stuff is vital. This is how I sell large $600, $1,000 premium. So listen up. Cost of insurance is vital to this, and so is the cash value. So on the phone, so-and-so's life insurance company gets permission to speak. I'd like to know what the premium is monthly. It's $100. What is the current cost of insurance, or what's the cash value? The cash value is $3,000. What's the current COI on it? COI is $100 a month. I can do the math. They have $3,000 in this bucket. They have about 2.5 years left on this because this COI goes up every year. What's it go up next year? Let them know. We don't have that. Well, what was it last year? It was $90. Okay, so I know it's going up $10 a year, Mr. Jones. What's happening is they're taking from this, even though I'm paying premiums, Jason, yes, even though you're paying premiums, you're losing money out of this cash value due to the cost of insurance. You need to take the cash value, start paying new premiums with it, and build interest, a new cash value system up, and get a new policy. This one's dead in 2.5 years. So that's how you do that with cost of insurance and flipping the ULs. If it's larger cash value, you can take it and you can index it as an annuity. So if it's over $10,000, you can turn it into an annuity, or you can turn it into a large life insurance product where they pay the premiums out of the $10,000. Now, if I do both, check this out. If you take an indexed annuity, like let's say Mr. Jones takes his $100,000 indexed annuity, right? And in 10 years, he's doubled his money to $230,000 in 10 years with the bonus. What he can do is take his free 10% draw every year, because next year this will be about $107,000 or $114,000, something like that. He'll have like $114,000 in a year because of his bonus, something like that. He could take his 10% free withdrawal and he can pay for a very large life insurance product. Okay? So that's how you can get people to pay for large life insurance products, is by indexing, making it an annuity, and then get them to pay the premiums on the product using interest-only money. Imagine that. They don't have to come out of pocket. You guys are selling products where the premium isn't even paid by Mr. and Mrs. Jones. It's paid by their own company. So that's a fabulous way to sell two products at once. Getting more interesting, selling larger annuities isn't always easy. Explaining to somebody, hey, I know you got $1.2 million and you've been trusting this guy forever, but look at this. If I could take it to $2.5 million in 10 years, doesn't that make sense? So you just keep the influence on what can happen, and then the reverse psychology of 30 years of a look back. Inside the illustration, guys, you're always going to be showing people what 10-year look backs look like. So Mr. Jones, if you were with the company for just the recent past 10 years, You wouldn't be with a stockbroker that didn't get you to 2.5. You'd be with a strong company with great stockbrokers, the best in the world, who got you to 2.5. That's the difference on how we work. And no fees, less taxation, things like that, Mr. Jones. That makes sense. Let's pull the trigger today, huh? Let's get this done. Okay, so we went over a lot today. I don't know where people need help. Some of you are new. I do want to tell you that we're going to pick this stuff apart. There will be more videos of pulling pieces of this whole entire presentation. It's almost an hour long, and we'll pick it apart. So you'll have videos on YouTube and Facebook that kind of rip this whole presentation apart and do it piece by piece, from the phone script all the way through the end of the presentation, and every piece. There's so many things you guys could run into that I only have an hour to get it all down. So we are trying to put a boot camp together to be 2 days long. We just got to make sure that everybody would show up to the hotel room and make sure that everybody's going to be on board. But first of all, I want to welcome all the newbies here. Thank you for joining us today. This is a weekly webinar we host that helps people astronomically double, sometimes quadruple their numbers every single week. Why? Because you're getting real life strategies, guys. This is real life stuff that happens. Remember again, that I wasn't just drawing this out for you. This was actually pieces of paper that I was going through inside the house with Mr. and Mrs. Jones to illustrate what I'm doing for them, okay? I found a $100,000 annuity. Could you have? Would you have found that 100 grand in your script? Do you know how it works? If you do, why don't you let us know? Everybody speak up who has a great script out there. I'm being truthful, honest. I want to hear somebody speak. How do you get 100 grand out of people? What are you saying? What are you doing? If anybody has any scripts out there, let us know. On top of that, we were able to sell an IUL, or a whole life. Those of you that are into term products that nobody's heard of with high premiums, you're going to get your policies replaced. If I come behind that term and I can take the same product, the same premium, and sell them whole life and show them cash value and living benefits, I'll probably replace the product. So it's kind of, if you do term, make sure you do the return of premium. That's more value. I just don't want your products being replaced. I'm not saying term's bad. Insurance, for God's sakes, it's good. I'm not against any of it. But I don't want you getting replaced out there, so you got to be careful. How to teach your reps. If you want to evolve and you want to duplicate this business, first of all, you got to prove that it can be done. You have to make the money. If you have annuities on the table, or if you have spoken to somebody about an annuity and you still have their telephone number, address, things like that, I would eventually tell you to send a letter or make a telephone call at this point and let them know that the volatility of the market's coming, and sit down with these people again. May I have another chance to sit with you? I have something new. There's a new company that we have that none of you are using. I can guarantee you that. And I want to show you. There's no caps to it. So the S&P goes up. This bad boy can go up to 30%. It was at 12.5 last year on an annuity. Okay, so that's freaking awesome. I mean, that's incredible. So why do people trust their stockbrokers so much? And this is what you need to learn to say in the house. Mr. Jones, I can understand why you won't pull the trigger. You're a man of fear of change. You love the way things worked all the years. You could care less if it does earn $200,000 and doubles your money in 5 years, let alone 10, because you feel safer. It's how you feel. I get it. But the problem is if you don't evolve with the times, you're going to miss out on the opportunity. So you've got to evolve, Mr. Jones. Please take this and do something with your money that is special, not just for you, but for your family. Your family needs this. Don't let them down, okay? I understand your fear, but let's get on the train here, man, and let's do something special with your money. Last chance. You're getting older. There's no time left. If you lose 30% of that money, can you get $30,000 back? No, you don't have enough lifetime to get that money back, Mr. Jones. So get on the bus. Let's get this thing rolling. I wanted to see, does anybody have any questions at this point in the webinar? I'm going to take a break and take a little sip of this. I've been talking for 45 minutes straight. Any questions. Does anybody think this is, you know, BS, or does anybody trust it, believe it? Because I'm going to tell you something. If you got something better, you better bring it to the table. Educate us. If you don't, then listen up, because there's multiple people that can speak on my behalf that can tell you that this system works. People are running into annuities today that never ran into annuities. And when I say run into annuities, that's the very first step of starting to sell annuities. You've got to start discussing the opportunity with people and take the fear out of you. If you're afraid, you're not going to make any money doing this. You've got to be fearless, man. Who gives a shit if I say no? Do not be afraid of no. Go for no, in fact. How about that? Read that book and you'll see what I'm talking about. I'm going to review real quickly, but we're going to go over final expense for final expense sales professionals out there, okay? I think that this is important for everybody to hear and listen up to. If you're into mortgage protection, this is the ground basics of life insurance sales, and we just need to do the same thing we just did with Mr. and Mrs. Jones. Why aren't people selling larger premiums? Well, some of the time it's because, you know, financially the individual just can't afford it. I understand that. There are times where you're in a home where you can go beyond the barrier. You can look around and tell that Mr. Jones has a mortgage. You can take a final expense app and turn it into a mortgage protection or anything protection app. I mean, protect everything and get your premiums higher. Show value. You've got to show the value in it and the urgency of taking massive action right now, Mr. Jones, because you can't afford to wait. We're all one doctor's visit away from never getting this stuff. You don't have time to wait. I have the best product. Here's what a lot of people tell me in the house, or if they do say this to reps or my reps or you in the house, we have other individuals coming to give us quotes. That's great, Mr. and Mrs. Jones. I can tell you that. I want you to do that, but I'm going to fair warn you. I'm going to be the first to warn you. In fact, you all have the same stuff. Nobody has this, though. The one product I just showed you as an illustration, guys, that you're going to get on board with, National Group Life, nobody has that other than us in this area anyway. Others have it, but nobody has it in my area, which is a good thing for me. But you know, Mutual of Omaha's GUL is awesome too. I mean, you can use that product all day long with the living benefits. That's incredible with that fixed universal. Show them that their taxes will increase, that they have a level income, that anything could arise. They could get hurt, injured, be in a wheelchair. You have to design the worst case scenario, guys, because everybody looks at their money like this. I'm never going to die. I'll always have the same situation financially. Inflation will never hurt me. And they got to get them painting the picture. So for final expense, I want you to go in and I want you to go in with the same amount of attitude and basically see what they're kind of doing and what their need is. The biggest word on the board today is need. Whose need is it, though? Is it theirs? Like, you could come out bluntly ask at a final expense arrangement, say, what am I here to do? What would you like to see done at the end of this? We just wanted to get a quote on burial or final expense coverage. And that's a bad question to ask. It already opens up the door to negativity, so don't ask that question. So the other way I would like to do is, here's what I'd like to do, Mr. Jones. I'd like to show you a couple opportunities that will protect you today, protect you tomorrow, Mrs. Jones, will also give you a chance for both of you to enjoy the life together that you deserve, okay? How's that sound? We're going to get involved here. Now, for this kind of arrangement with final expense, a lot of people don't bring in living benefits. But if I bring in living benefits or some kind of quality that the product has built in it, I'm going to beat out the other guy, and I'm always going to protect this. So I'll give you, for instance, America had $25,000 death benefit on it. It came with accidental at $25,000, common carrier at $25,000. It was $82 a month compared to Mutual of Omaha, $74. So $74 was lower, but Mutual of Omaha didn't have any of this built into it. So you can't make the sale there. So if you've got these living benefits or benefits inside these products, use them, explain them. Stop just explaining the death benefit. Use your product knowledge, man. Sell the car. So you got living benefits. What else do we have inside this product? Oh, we got cash value. It earns 3% interest. So while you're paying your premiums, Mrs. or Mrs. Jones, you're earning money. It's like a savings account. I use it for retirement. It's a great retirement schedule. But the main purpose of this is to pay, God forbid, something happens to Mr. or Mrs. Jones, okay? Now, when we pay the death benefit, it happens in about 3 to 5 days. You get this money. You get the $10,000 in about 3 to 5 days. We could do this too. If we could take this 10,000 and we could double it, we could turn it into 20,000 for like $2 or $3 more a month. This will be due to accidental death. So that's a nice option too. You can add about $3 on a month and just take your chances on a lottery ticket and double the money. So as you guys can see, there's ways to double the money and get more benefits for the individual that you're speaking to. And when you close these deals up, make sure you close them tight. Make sure that you allow every client to know that if somebody else contacts you, I have a contract that they sign with me. If somebody else contacts you, that you're to make me aware of it first. Why? The contract has a list of reasons why. Read them out. People will lie. People will lie to you, Mr. and Mrs. Jones. They would tell you my product's no good. Well, we went over it. We contacted the company. If you didn't contact the carrier with the client, open it up to that. Show them how honest you are, because if you're using your product smartly and using the right product, you don't have any reason to lie. You'll sell every time because your product's the best and you presented it the best way possible. I have people thanking me for the knowledge that I give them all the time. It's like, I never knew that about this shit. Thank you so much. I am so aware of what's going on now. And that's really how you have to educate people. Become a consultant to your clients and you will become their best friend, man. Consult your clients. Feed them full of knowledge and show them value. Show them the need. Show them the real need. Some people's need is just burial. Well, they missed out on tax consequences. The driver that has to pick up the body, the urn, they may change their mind. Whatever the case may be, that you're the person that's the professional. Find the need for them, okay? But their part of the need is important, but if you find the real need, you'll sell more value and you'll sell higher premiums. Your job is to make money here. Let's not freaking beat around the bush here. Your job is to come in here, sell large deals and make a $3,000 deal to $5,000 hit on every single sale that you sell. And why aren't you doing that? Because of this reason. You're not bringing value and you're not showing them the real need. And the real need is to cover everything. Look, bottom line is, if they can arrange their money in a position that you showed them, position their money so they can afford it and prove it can be done. Prove the finances can be pulled off, especially with people that are broke. I'm going to tell you right now, you'll have an easier time selling final expense to broke people than you will selling mortgage protection deals on $200,000, $300,000 homes. They just think that they understand and know it all. Get a couple cool ones that are easy. But at the end of the day, if you outperform them with knowledge, the smartest guy in the room is going to win when you're selling mortgage protection, even final expense. So know your products. It's important. And it's simple. It really is. If you just learn about living benefits, learn about your cash value options, learn about the doubling their money due to accidental, get the accident thing. Look, if somebody wants a $40,000 policy and they can't afford it, this is how you sell them a $40,000 policy. It's add accidental. You're not lying. It's 40 grand, Mr. and Mrs. Jones. Okay? So, that being said, let's open up this mic to some questions. Let me go through. I'm going to see who's here. I want to know, Charlie, did you get your sound open? Can you let me know if you got the sound open, please, so I can help you if you did. I want you to be able to hear. Got a lot of people on here, and what I'm thanking all of you for coming on board. What I'd like to do is just open the mic up and start picking away at this stuff. If not, I'll just keep rolling with the punches, because I know not all of you new people got this. So what I'm going to do is, if you got a question, just ask it. Okay, Charlie, good, you got it. Charlie, you got a question, ask it, buddy. So if all of you don't mind me saying, if there is no questions, you should all be making 20, 30 grand next week, because you found annuities and you understand how to do this. But I know you didn't, so let's go over it again. One of the first bases of selling protection, mortgage protection, is your lead flow. If you skip this part of it or school, you will miss out on the bus of earning $10,000 a week. And I say a lot of companies, oh, that's not a big deal, $10,000 a week. Where did you get special that $10,000 in 4 days wasn't wasn't a big deal. You know what I'm saying? I have a question here. It says, where do I get good leads from? Guys, when I present an opportunity to you, when we speak on the phone, we also talk about lead flow most of the time. If I haven't spoken to you about that, we will now, real quick. There are leads here that are 24 hours old. So when you call Mrs. Jones, she knows why you're calling and she knows your first name. Now, Mrs. Jones, this is Jason. I'm doing a follow-up call to the call that you had received yesterday about that final expense information. I'm the guy that handles that area. Are you and Mr. Jones available at 10 a.m. tomorrow while I'm in the area already? Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Boom. Next. Boom. Next. You know, just keep on carrying it on. Got to keep the lead flow coming in, guys. I have the lead, so what you're to do is do this. I want you to contact Alyssa and get your lead started, okay? Oh, shit, sorry, guys. Hold on, I'll type in the telephone number here. 412-818-6038. Alyssa. Leads. Now, we have $3 leads. We have $7 leads. We have $15 leads. We have $47 leads. I call them annuity leads too. Basically, if you get these mortgage protection leads, 9 of 10 will say yes the very first day that you have them in your hands. I guarantee you that. You can ask anybody that's new to our organization about the life leads here, and nobody has an issue. That's why people are flooding from all kinds of different organizations over here due to the training also. Because, guys, understand this. You are not going to learn how to double your income over one session with me. You have to make this a repetition and a dedication until this stuff becomes yours and you're doing your own webinars one day to build your team. This knowledge is here every week. I have piles of this stuff, and they're all different too, but you do need it. Do not deny yourself because you think that some goofy guy has more knowledge. I mean, there's no way this kid knows more than me. I'll put you side by side with me in any home, and I will blow the doors off every house. Now, that's just how I do it, by the fact that I bring the value. I show them the need. I bring a little spice to it too sometimes, you know. So the leads are awesome. The sales training is incredible. Sometimes we have guest speakers too, infamous people making $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $1 million a year. So you can look out for those and teach. These guys are teaching us how to do it. If you people that are on here right now, what I'd like to do is I would really like to take the time to get to know each individual. So, you know, I want to talk to you guys on the side here, and I'd like for each one of you that is joining the team to text me at this telephone number here. This way I can start contracting for you, okay? Now, if you're not ready for that, we can discuss contracting leads and get that started. But does anybody have any questions whatsoever before I started? You can type it in or speak it. I used to have a million questions. I can't believe nobody has any questions. Mortgage protection, you keep the lead flow coming in real quickly. You keep the lead flow coming in. You get to the door, you beat on the door, you say, hey, Mrs. Jones, we didn't go over one thing. Here's the table setup, guys, and a lot of my reps know that I do this. Here's the table setup. Where do you sit? What's the best place to sit? Everybody see this? Here's a square table. You sit here. You put Mr. and Mrs. Jones over here. You do not put them across from each other. It's a crossfire. You don't need them winking at each other and doing that shit. Same with a circular table. The point of this exercise right here is not to have Mr. and Mrs. Jones across from you, but you're in their line of sight and you can always see their eyes and their actions. You have to keep control inside the house, guys, and you're the professional. Remember, you're the financial professional. You're the financial professional, and keep repeating that to yourself. Now, inside the house, you know, if you lose control, you get it back by showing proof of something. You know, always show proof. And remember to get their stuff up. Get the Social Security. Know how much the monthly mortgage is. Understand their life insurance. How much do they have? Who's it with? How much cash value is built up? I tell you, I've helped people pay their back end of their houses off using cash value that was built up for 30 years that they didn't even realize was built up so substantially. And our prices are so fair that I can almost get them the same amount of life insurance for the same amount, probably about doubled sometimes, you know, in some cases, but some cases close to the same amount but get them 25. I got these individuals 21,000, but it was close to 25. They got 21,000 to pay the back end of the mortgage off, and they used some of it to pay credit card bills off. Can you imagine doing it? And they got a new policy. It's like crazy how you can reinvent this whole thing inside the house. So if you become really good at this, you don't just stick to what you're putting products on top of products. Don't sell another life insurance product if they already have a couple in place. Use the 3 premiums from these 3 products and sell a large policy using 3 premiums. I got $100 here. I got 70 here. I got $40 here. We're talking $210 a month for one large policy, plus they receive cash value back. You see what I'm saying? Use intelligence and be smart about numbers. Get in the house, use larger numbers, and sell big deals. Here's another one. A guy was selling mortgage protection. We were in mortgage protection. He wants to double his mortgage and pay it off faster for his wife. Okay, so what I do is I take that same mortgage, which was $2,000. He's got a $2,000 a month mortgage, and I take the $2,000 that he's spending extra, and I drill it towards 7.14% interest. His cash value was out the roof in 10 years. And then second to that, his payout at his age was $480,000. Now, this guy passed away in 3 weeks. Think about the return on investment. $480,000, he put $200,000 into it. Is that ridiculous? I mean, that's incredible. But think about if I didn't come up with that solution, okay, then his wife would have had a $310,000 mortgage to pay, and she did not want to leave. So I helped that scenario big time, and you can do the same. Your job is to make sure that you're helping people, okay? Stop thinking about the money and start thinking about the people you can help. Again, stop thinking about the money and start thinking about the people that you will help along the way, okay? Let me answer this question, guys. We have a question here. Do you have carriers and leads for PA? Yes, we do, Greg. Greg, are you a licensed rep? Can you open your mic up?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, I'm licensed. Life and Health.
Fantastic. Yeah, oh yeah, that's where I'm from, brother. I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
I'm out by Philly.
Okay, well, I know Philly too. I used to hang out there at Temple University.
That's where I went.
Oh, really? In the 90s?
70s.
Okay, a little bit before my time, but you still Temple. That's Bill Cosby's joint there. That's a nice school. Long story short, to answer your question is yes. What is your primary focus, Greg? What do? You do final expense, mortgage protection, annuities? What's your thing?
No, Jason, I'm brand new.
Oh, okay. Now, this is important. Everybody listen to this. Greg's brand new, and Greg, what I would tell you as a brand new rep is that you can be bounced around left and right in this industry. You can go through what most of us go through, and a lot of people on this can witness this. You can go from industry, from carrier to carrier, or you can go from IMO, NMO. You can switch up, looking for leads, looking for the training. Greg, I promise you, you found a home. You found the right place, brother. If you don't trust me on this, you'll be back later, I promise, because there ain't nothing like this out there. The lead flow is incredible in your area. It's a hot place to be. It works. It's proof if you need it. I have been to every. Have you talked to other companies yet about a career?
No.
Okay, so this is your first. You are licensed?
Yes, I'm licensed. Yeah.
Okay, good. So yeah, you don't need to look any further. I'm telling you, bud, you're going to have a terrible time. A lot of these guys just get you in, tell you to buy leads, and send you on your way. We don't do that. I find somebody in your area, help them take you out. I've got you a ton of videos to watch. I do this every week, sometimes 3 times a week. So I'm with you. Ask the questions you run into in the house. Remember your scenarios. And Greg, I want to use you as a scenario from a new rep to somebody that I train that is earning a six-figure income, in 2018 and beyond. So if you take this challenge with me, I will form and mold you over the time and make sure that you earn the income you deserve.
Hey, Jason.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm in the medical field area, and I was looking to do this probably starting out part-time.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah.
Just to fill a void until everything starts kicking in. But then again, If you're talking high numbers you're talking about, well, who knows?
Yeah, you without question, everybody on here should be able to convince you that there are six figures if they're doing the right thing too. It's not that difficult when you're selling at high premium rates. You know, figure this: if you're selling Mrs. Jones's $300 a month premium, this is just one hypothetical, times 12. This is how you get paid. That's what, $3,600? Well, that's what you made on the deal anyway. So if you're 100% contract level, you make $3,600, and then you subtract 25% out of it. They keep that for your residuals. So in 9 to 13 months, this starts becoming a residual income for the rest of your life on all the policies you sold. Okay. So after the first year, you start getting your residuals. You get $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 a month coming in on a regular basis. So it depends on you, boss, but this is how you get paid. You sell $100 a month. That's $1,200. That's what you get paid basically. Okay. So if you sell 5 of those and Mrs. Jones knows your first name, she knows why you're calling. The only thing you need to do is present it right, Greg, in the house. There's no reason you can't make $5,000 by Wednesday. I'm not talking working a week here, guys. I'm talking I am in and out of the field by Wednesday. Done. 10, 20, 10, 20, 10, 20 grand a week is my focus every week. And usually I hit it. Now, everybody that knows me has seen me hit larger numbers than that. I can run into 3 annuities and boom, 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 sell one of them even. But at the end of the day, I help people in the home. That's what I focus on. I stop thinking about the money. I don't. I have somebody that does that for me. But I do focus on I don't buy anything for myself. I really don't live a lavish lifestyle. I mean, I live a lot better than a lot of people in the world, but in general, I don't, live a lavish lifestyle. I want everybody to know that the opportunities here, like Greg, if you make the wrong decision, bud, you can be financially, you can take your bank account and you can invest it into something that doesn't work. The leads are too expensive. Your time is invested. The kid's 20 years old trying to train you. He doesn't even have enough life experience. How the hell is he going to train you? These are the things you run into. My first couple trainees trainers were like younger than me, and I'm looking at them like they have no life experience. They don't have any, Hello.
We're good.
Hello. Who was that, man? Oh, Charlie. Hello, buddy.
Yeah, we're good.
All right. So, Greg, do you have any more questions about the industry, the carriers? The carriers are there, brother. We got them all like everybody other IMO does. We are the fastest growing final expense organization in the country today, period. And you want it, but it's small enough, Greg, that there's still territory. See, you knowing this industry, you want to be part of something that's grown but new. Grown and new, and grow in. So you pick the right spot. Greg, why do you think I'm here and I'm doing this? Like, if I wasn't making any real cheddar, I wouldn't be doing this. I didn't give you our YouTube page unless maybe you've seen it already, but there's a dozen videos up there. I have 100 more videos I haven't even given out yet.
No, I've never seen YouTube. No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, well, wait till you see that, man. I got videos coming out to the wazoo. You'll be studying until you're blue in the face. You know what I'm saying? It's just an incredible way to teach you how to make money in this industry, but along the stripes of you getting out there in the field and learning from your mistakes. Guys, everybody, listen, you are going to make mistakes. They are your number one. Your failure is your success. By all means, take advantage of the house, get in the home, get yourself acclimated to the house, to the people. It's something different, Greg. You're not used to it. You're used to going into a 9 to 5. You're not forced to teach somebody something that they didn't know. Now you have to teach people what they don't know. And it has to deal with a product. And it has to deal with their need. And it has emotions involved. This is an emotional business. If they cry, they buy, is the old saying, So if you can get people to understand the products, Greg, you will have a great time. And you're not cold calling anybody.
Yeah, Jason, my background is in electronic sales, manufacturing sales. So long sales background, but never in home sales.
I just want to fair warn you, and everybody that's veterans of this and sales individuals, and this is all with all due respect. I said the same thing when I owned multiple companies before I come in here and before the car accident. And then I started trying to sell this stuff, and I couldn't do it. I was failing like left and right, and I was like, what the hell? I can't do it the old way, Greg. You know what I mean? The way I was selling things before didn't work. I did have some strategies I could bring in, but this is a different beast, man. So let me mold you. And the special thing about you, Greg, is you got sales experience, which is good. So you've been in front of people. That's great. The second part is I can mold you to do it the right way. What you're learning here, Greg, is more of an advanced way of doing things, but it's not that hard to catch on to what happens to get bigger, larger sales. If you, Greg, you're getting paid for $3,600 a sale or $1,200 a sale, why wouldn't you be out there? You know what I mean? Why wouldn't you be purchasing leads? Now, if your lead cost is $300 to earn $3,600 or $1,200, that's still good return on investment, right?
Yes, of course.
All right, Charlie, I'll see you on Monday, buddy. Keep watching the videos and keep studying. Get your contracting in, everybody. Get it done. If you're not contracted yet, start contracting. If we've sent you contracting over, please send it over to us. Get it done, guys. If you're ready to get out there and get started, come on. Let's build an organization together. I'm telling you, I got you. I can help every single one of you build a multi-level organization and on your own pen, earn no less than 50 grand a year working 10, 15 hours a week. And then on the other levels of working 20, 30, 40 hours a week, you're going to see a six-figure income. And some of you will 1099 $250,000 this year. So who is that guy, though? I'm wondering this year. Every year I wonder who's going to be the $250,000 person. Maybe it's Greg, man. Maybe. But I have people like Greg on here. I got Mark Odell. Mark, you've been in the business for for a while, right? Mark Odell. Okay. Anybody else who can speak?
Well, Jason, this is Greg. How do we get contracted?
The contracting will be done through Alyssa, Greg. So what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to put it, can you see that chat box down there?
Yes.
Chat box right there, buddy. And I want you to take that. I want you to dial this number here. Or I'm sorry, send a text. Damn, I keep doing it.
What I saw already is a 412-818-6038.
There you go. Right. Shit, I lost. Yeah, that's it, bud.
It's a okay.
Do that and get that part started there. Sorry, I got to. Now, I'm sorry. Alyssa will help you get contracting in. Now, when you contract, you're going to contract with the certain carriers that I tell you to contract with. Why? Those are the least amount of premium that people will pay with the biggest payouts. They're the simplest to train on, and I want your residuals continually going through these certain carriers so you build a larger income later on. Every step of this, Greg, is going to be done so you make a better buck for yourself and your family, and you're able to help people much simpler than you would be with anybody else. Every single week when I send out the link, be on the training. You've got to throw this into the mix. If you miss this stuff, it's recorded. Watch it. Make sure you get them all in, okay? Very vital. As goofy as this stuff may seem and as speedy as, if you don't understand it, that's where you guys got to ask questions. If you didn't understand, why are you asking for their Social Security? How did you get the $100,000 out of Mr. Jones? How did you get the IUL? How did you get them to get the policies on the table? Pick it apart. Ask me questions so I can bombard you with knowledge. Those of you that think you already know all this, you're just wrong, man. Just keep continuously learning and participate and get involved and let me help you. And then bring your organization to this. Bring your team to the webinars. Let's all get involved. Host your own webinars if you can and start training people to a six-figure income. Because, Greg, what your primary goal should be, if it's money, you want to build an organization. You want to take Greg and you want to duplicate Greg over and over again. That's on ZipRecruiter, Facebook. You can find people all over the place. You can make a 10, 20, 30, 40, 50% spread on people. Very good hypothetical there is, Greg, if your friend sells a $10,000 policy in a week and you're a 10% spread, that means you made $1,000 of that deal, okay? So that's simple math. If it's 20%, you make $2,000. You see how it works? So that's why people get into the mathematics of this, or the residual side of sales, and having people doing it for them, because
Jason, just text Alyssa and just tell her I want to contract.
That's correct. How are you? You're here to contract, and I'm with her right now. I'm just in the other room, so I'll just let her know. Text what I went to tell you is text your full name. Full name. Full name. State you live in. Email. Phone number. We got full name, state you live in, email, and phone number. And tell Alyssa to begin your contracting. You're here to begin your contracting. Now, everybody else on here, who else is getting contracted? Who's with 813-324-9804? Can we talk? Are you open to speaking?
I am. Chuck Maniaci.
Chuck, I've got you, buddy. So are you?
Yeah, I'll be doing it this weekend, having it Monday.
All right. Let me ask 706-255-3485. Can you speak?
Yeah, I can speak.
Okay. Who is this?
John Trice.
I figured that. I got you. So, yeah, John, did anybody get on? Was anybody from your team able to get on today?
Yeah, Greg was. That you just talked to Greg.
Oh, Greg, I got you. I didn't know that you two knew each other.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. So, Greg, I can attach to you then, John?
Yeah. Put him as the highest contract possible. Sure.
Well, I got you. Well, then me and you can discuss that on the side here. But, Greg, I'll get that in. I didn't know you were with John. I just thought you were somebody new, or I would have handled it differently.
No, I should have probably told you. I'm sorry about that.
It's okay. Listen, I'm sorry. I was kind of misfiring today. I had a hell of a week, man. I tried to get this out as quickly as possible. John, what I'm going to do so everybody's aware is I'm going to take some time out for myself, pull myself down, and I'm going to get focused on areas like the sale from the beginning. I'm going to pull this apart. Say video one is the very first step at the door, what to say. And I'm going to really get involved in the training part. So there's a video series that somebody can take it from point A all the way to Z, watch 1, 2, 3, and they're only like 15 minutes long each one. So I want to shrink this shit up and get it all out there and have annuities, IUL. So long story short, all the training in the world's coming, guys. I would like to get more people involved like Greg. Greg, here's the bottom line. If you need money, and I don't know your situation, so let me ask you, as a man-to-man, are you financially strapped? Are you hurting? Are you okay with money? Or do you, without that income that you have, you wouldn't make it?
I'm okay, but I want to get a lot better. Put it that way.
Now, the reason I ask this, Greg, is because walking away from what you're doing is for me wouldn't be a decision I know I can do, because I've never worked for anybody. I don't know how that works, but at the end of the day, just get your proof that you need, I think. And if John and I can prove that this works by, on this board, that's one thing, but you need to get in the field and do it. The number one thing that people lack in doing, Greg, is pulling the hammer on taking massive action. So what are the days that you have to do this? Have you even evaluated that?
No, because like I say, I'm involved heavily in the medical area and building the groups there. Right. But it's taking a little time. So I just was, with John, hooked up with him for about over a year or 2 years now, that part of the mastermind group.
Yeah, I gotcha. Now, listen, I think somebody like you, if you're a part of that mastermind group and you're successful where you're at, making this lifestyle change, do you want more time for yourself? Do you want to just, go out and sell Mrs. Jones? And you can do this, Greg. There's no doubt you'll make money at it. It's just, you're going to have to step away. If you want $250,000 a year, you can't do it at two places, But at the end of the day, you want to go for $500,000, $1 million, we can't have you at two places. I want you to stay where you're at for the comfortability. but we need to fit in a day or two, Greg. So, for the first month or two, you're going to be extremely busy, bud. But I have done it.
I'm a 1099, so I'm not.
Oh, okay.
I don't work for a particular, I'm not 9 to 5. No. So
that's very beautiful to know then. And we can arrange your schedule. I'm going to get you over the YouTube page. John, do you happen to have that YouTube link?
No, I don't think you sent it. You sent it to me on my phone, but you didn't send it to me on the email so I could send it out to the guys.
I thought I did send it via email. I probably didn't send it to you via email, but I did send it out. But I'm going to do this. I'm going to get you to the YouTube page somehow, get you the link for that. And even if you have my Facebook page too, that has a ton of videos on it here. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to share this with John here. Via email, John, I'm going to send this to you, and you can send it to Greg here. And, oh, shit. Might have been sending it to John Spinner. That's why. John Trice video. Okay, so John, it's really up to you what levels we want them at, so you can make a decision with me after we get off the phone. I can get you some materials over. Send over a fax number, Greg, if you have one too, to Alyssa, so we can fax you in some of the paperwork that we use inside the house to help us with the sales process. Be on all the training and get to the carriers, learn the products. We're going to start bringing product knowledge to the table too. But if you can go to the carriers.
Could she scan in and just email it?
No.
So I got a fax machine, but I haven't really used it that often.
I mean, if it doesn't work, I can, I know what I can do. I can take a picture of it using this one app I got, and it'll be emailed to you. I do have a way to do it. I'm not being rude. The machine doesn't work. So, yeah, I can do it. If you get the fax, it's very simple for us to do it that way. But if not, I'll take a picture of it. I can send it that way. So I'll have your email with Alyssa. Let's see. Anything else you'll need to know? Just performance, Greg. The bottom line is that knowledge is power in this game. If you're smart as John Trice is, you're going to make money at this deal. If you got the wisdom I do and the ability to go in and teach Mrs. Jones about mortgage protection the way I do, you're going to make a ton of money in this business. So, if you want $10,000 a week by Wednesday, choose this game. I won't let you down. I'll build your business. You help me build that business. I don't want to say I will do it all alone. Greg, so what are some of the ideas behind you making this change anyway? What are you doing this for? If you were to do this full time, is your business something that is generally speaking over time? Could it not stay in play that you wouldn't have a job someday? Or is it secure or?
With the medical?
Yeah.
No, it could be huge.
And does it have any downsides though too? That it could be downsides to it at all? Like
not that we can see for many years.
Yeah, I got you. Okay. Well then, I'm just trying to understand. Whatever your decision is based on, I'll support it. But we're here for you. At the end of the day, you got me, John. You got the carriers. Alyssa helps you take care of all contracting. She does great scripts for the phone. She sets all the appointments, and then she also teaches you anything that has to do with carriers. If you're stuck on something, she knows the carriers and products extremely well. So does John.
Jason, my turn. I appreciate that because right now I have the time. Okay. So, and there's probably no reason I can't build both.
Yeah, man, I got you.
Because if I build the other part of the medical, I don't need to do a whole lot myself eventually. I'm going to build 2 different groups, and that's just going to rock.
Now, if you do this, Greg, you can MLM this thing and send them to me. If you can just recruit the hell out of people and send them to this training, and I fly in, me and John fly in, get a hotel room, set people up in a room, we train the hell out of them for a weekend, you will make money. Give this 6 months to a year, you do it fast. Now, what I need to do is a YouTube video on how to recruit a good one. Because I am a strong recruiter. I find people. I find entire agencies, in fact, which makes it faster, but there's not a lot of money in that. So you want to find individuals with big spreads, Greg. you get the 10%, 20% spread on these people and make them money, because this is what's lacking out there, Greg, whether you know it or not. This training here is what's lacking in the industry, along with great leads. Those two items blended together make success in this organization. And lately it's been great because I'm seeing other people finally start making money, and it feels good to me. You know, it took me a long time to build it, and it's taken some time, but finally people are starting to generate good money, not just chump change. You know what I mean? Great, good, very good money. Sell an annuity, Greg, get off the chain with that. That's a great number to have in your pocket. You know, there's a couple of points on that. Even if you earn 5% on $1 million freaking annuity, you know, that's $250,000. That's a great number to have.
I'm just texting the list a little bit here.
Yeah, okay, Greg is new to the list. He's texting you right now. He's with John Trice's team. He's also in the medical field, so he's going to text you for contracting. Okay, so we'll get that over to you. She just heard it, Greg. John, she heard it. It's all taken care of. Who else do we have? Mark?
Hey, Jason, it's Mark.
Mark, how you doing, boss?
Yeah, good. Hey, sorry, I just told you I had to have it on mute today because I got the kids running around, so I didn't want to have you hearing any of the screaming, yelling. But yeah, rock and roll. I love this stuff, man. You're right on track with everything we've talked about and everything I've been seeing out there in the market and what's going on. And we didn't even talk about leads yesterday, so I'll definitely give it to Alyssa. And I haven't seen anything on the contracting yet, but I'm sure she'll send it over here.
I told her to hold off on it, Mark, because most of the time, okay. Mark, John Trice knows this about me. I like to bring people here to build. Again, I'm putting value in front of you. I want you to make the right decision for your family in your future. I don't want to send you a contract that bombard you. I want you to see what you're getting into. You know, guys, look, I'm going to be off some days, but some days these presentations that I put in front of you, if there's one freaking nugget, and that's all you're getting, is you guys will notice you're pulling one thing away from each video, maybe 2 or 3 sometimes, and you're bringing it to the house. And once it comes embedded into you week after week, when you really start flowing in the house with it and it becomes your own language, you'll see the numbers just pouring in. So Mark, Greg, I'm glad to have you two on board. No, Mark wants on board too.
Okay, Mark and Greg, are they both under John?
No, Mark is with us.
Okay, I need to know like who John Trice is going to be the direct upline, so I don't make them direct to us.
Yeah, so Greg, sure that Alyssa knows that John Trice is above you.
Yes.
Can you please put I'm on John Trice's team so I know he's
Mark,
the direct upline?
What I'll do for you is if you can do the same, Mark, please. Did you see what to do, boss? You send that over to Alyssa?
Yeah, I texted you yesterday after we got off the phone. I can send it again if you need to.
Listen, did you get Mark's information? Okay, she got it. Now make sure that you knows the state you're in, Mark, the email, the phone number, your full name, and then, okay, let's talk about leads a little bit. Leads, we have $3 mortgage protection leads here, guys. There is a ton of these leads, which means somebody carried these around in a briefcase from 30 days to 90 days. Now, they go beyond that. They go 90 to 6 months, and then 6 months to a year. And those become like 50 cents, the year ones. They become $1, the ones in between, in 9 to 12 months. And in 30 days to 90 days, they become $3. These are extremely valuable facets because they cost $50 at the original state that they were in as brand new leads. So you two have to understand something, and everybody on here, that those are an incredible opportunity to make tens of thousands of dollars not paying the original cost. But if you, and I do highly recommend both of you get involved in regular new mortgage protection leads eventually. I'll tell you when that's right, or John can, because that needs some training, because they are $47 a pop. They come in, you got 10 days to pay the deal off, but you make so much money off of it. Paying high bills for me, guys, weekly doesn't affect me at all. $2,000 a week in lead cost isn't anything. But however, I did start at $100, $200, $300 when I first started many, many years ago. But I'm advising you to be strong about this. Go in at $300, get your money back. If you didn't, go in stronger. Go in at $500. Now you have a ton of leads. You need the resources. There is going to be substantial investment up front on leads, but a minute, I should have said substantial, a minute amount in the beginning and a substantial reward at the end. So you'll
also,
get
the $47 leads, you set boom, 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 boom.
Now, if you're into not
the $3
having,
ones, you're going to be on the phone a while. So,
right. Alyssa sets the appointment, so she would know.
I'm just telling you, the $47 ones are so easy to set. I mean, you can do them in like a half an hour. Well,
Now, when you get brand new leads, mortgage protection leads, I told you, you get 10, you're going to set 9 right as soon as you sit down. Boom, 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 boom. Now your job is to get out there. That's how it goes, man. So if you got money coming in, Greg and Mark, you guys got money, then play the game right. Not right now. Use the $3 leads. Get in effectively. But hey, John, I'm gonna tell you something too, man. I guess I can be open about this. That there's only a certain amount of leads in certain areas. So this is almost like a territorial fight too. So people need to jump on this as soon as they can. So if there's anybody on your team not in the organization, and I'm growing, like I get 2 to 5 new reps a week at this point, John. I stopped that massive flow of stuff. It was just driving me nuts. So with that being said, they're coming from all different states, but we need, if you want people on your team to have these territories, and it's not exclusive, by the way, anybody can get them, but most people go in there, like Alyssa bought 140 yesterday at $3 a pop. 140 leads for $3 a piece. That's incredible, But if people want this hot thing that's going on, man, you get in. Jason, I have to go. Thank you very much, Greg. Good luck, and I will get you contracting over. Any more questions, Mark?
Thank you, Jason.
No. Well, hey, listen, I'm paying 10 times. I'm paying about $40 a lead right now for mortgage protection, and
Yes.
and it's tough. I mean, it's tough setting these. So if Alyssa's saying $47 and you're knocking 9 out of 10 out, we're going to be making some serious money here. This is awesome.
Brother, it's just about your sales script. I'm going to go over that real quickly with you, just real quick. Give me 1 second. Like, I don't know if you can see the screen. If you can't, it's tough. But, I have this lead in front of me. Here's the script, total script. Hey, Janet, this is Jason. I'm calling on behalf of Federal Savings and Bank. I'm calling on behalf of their own loaner. You had requested information on mortgage protection. You remember that? Yes, I do. Okay, I'm the rep that handles that area. That's the script. Over. Done.
Love it.
Unlike other people that give you a mile-long script,
Well, that's what I've been working off of, right? I mean, just going into all these details about the living benefits, and is this of interest to you? Is this I just want to set the appointment. I'll do all the talking when we get in the house,
As soon as and then get yourself invested into the product knowledge too, and then take some time out. Let's don't expect me to answer every single text that you may send to me, but I will get to it. But what I'm saying is, if we need time to train you, you need to say, Jay, I need time to set away for us to be on training because everybody else needs it too, Mark. So what I'm willing to do is do another webinar. That's why I do so many webinars, is because people need it. So if you ever want me to do a webinar, just ask, man, because I enjoy doing this. It's okay for me. I've been doing it so long, it's okay. So the training's out there. Go fill your brain full of this stuff. Get it, write it down, take notes, take it very seriously when you're in front of the screen with me. Get the knowledge, get a calculator out. I want you doing math. Be at the house with me, okay? And and everybody enjoy their Saturday, guys. And any more questions, anybody? Okay, wonderful. I'm going to schedule another webinar sometime in the middle of the week. I will see you guys there. Look out for that. Send your if you got a group, let's get them all contracted and get going, guys. If you like what you heard, please put it up on Facebook and let everybody else know how wonderful everything is on social media about me and this event that we just hosted. Thank you very much. I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great